Obama. Senator, I want to know what you're going to do with my taxes, but I know what's going on over there, some canoodling. But Sherry actually had something on her mind.
And I just have to say, I just so appreciate you sharing your heart in the speech that you just gave, because I had my vote for Hillary, and as soon as I heard that speech, I changed it, and I want to leave the View to campaign for you. Well, not leave the View, but, you know, on the weekend.
I was thinking the same thing.
And just, you know, but I wanted to say that, but Hillary has been saying, when asked about the battle for the Democratic nomination, she said that it's a spirited fight, and that's the way that it should be. But then other people have said it's gotten really dirty. How do you feel about that? Do you think it's dirty?
I don't think it's gotten dirty. I mean, I think that it has gotten contentious, sometimes with our surrogates. You know, people, our supporters are very passionate, and so they say things, and let's face it, the press loves when somebody says crazy stuff.
They got a lot of airtime.
So if they find one of her supporters who said something about me, or one of my supporters that said something about her, well, that's it. That's going to make the news. And then that contributes to a sense of bitterness. But the truth is, you know, look, Senator Clinton is a bright, dedicated public servant. She was my friend before this contest started. She's going to be my friend after this contest started, after this contest ends. And, you know, what I'm absolutely convinced of is that once we're all done, the Democrats will come together, that they will have a nominee they can be proud of and who's going to work hard on their behalf. In the same way that after I beat John McCain, I trust that I'm going to be able to... Here's what I was going to say, though, Elizabeth. Here's what I was going to say, Elizabeth. That after I beat John McCain, I am not somebody who believes that the Democrats have a monopoly on wisdom. I think Republicans, and look, I come from the land of Lincoln.
Put them in your cabinet?
You know, absolutely. You know, Abraham Lincoln was a pretty good Republican. And one of the things that I've been trying to communicate, I've got some very strong views about how we need to move the country forward. Yes. But I don't presume I'm right all the time. I want to listen to people, something that I think our current president hasn't done, get a diversity of opinion. And the one thing I'm convinced of as I travel around the country is we have so much more in common than what drives us apart. You know, we have these categories of black, white, you know, male, female, you know, Republican, Democrat. When you talk to people, people basically want the same things. You know, they want a job that is satisfying and that pays a living wage. They want health care if they get sick. They want to be able to send their kids to a good school and send them to college. They know they've got to work hard. They don't want a handout. They want dignity and respect when they retire. You know, they want to be safe. And so, you know, that doesn't mean we're not going to have real arguments about how to get there. But we should remind ourselves that, you know, we're all Americans and we all have, I think, a very similar view about what's important.
What about the economy? I know, you know, talk about taxes. How are you going to handle that? I mean, no one wants higher taxes. Yeah. What's your plan there?
You know, what I want to do is, first of all, I don't want higher taxes. I have to pay taxes, and it's no fun. You know, I think sometimes there's this presumption that Democrats say we just love taxing people. No, I would prefer to keep taxes as low as possible. I think that when we've driven up our national debt $4 trillion because of tax breaks that we gave primarily to wealthy individuals, then that's not responsible for the next generation. So what I would do is I would roll back the Bush tax cuts for the wealthiest Americans, and I would actually increase taxes there. And I would actually, But here's what I want to do, though.
I said, Barbara's you're going to be in trouble. When he roll back the taxes on you, you rich as I don't know what, Barbara.
That's one of the things we don't do. You have no idea.
I've got to get this in, though. I want to cut taxes for people who are making $75,000 a year or less, because they're really struggling. You meet a lot of families who are just having a tough time with high gas prices, high college costs, high health care. So net, it's going to be revenue neutral. But I want to shift it around so that those of us who can afford to pay a little more, pay a little more. Yeah. Those of us who need more help, they're paying a little less.
You've also said that you want to have some government help to people who are losing their homes. Yeah. And John McCain has gone just the other way. You know, he said, I don't want that.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, I think McCain said, correctly that there's some people who took on excessive risk.
Yes.
They bought houses that were too big because somebody told them you don't have to pay anything down. Lenders were giving folks money because they were making money, even though they knew that people might not be able to repay. So we don't want to reward bad behavior. On the other hand, there are a lot of people who bought homes thinking they could pay it. They got teaser rates. They didn't know what they were getting into. If they foreclose, everybody's worse off, including their neighbors who were responsible, because now the foreclosure brings property values down for everybody.
We got to foreclose because we're a live show.
Oh, goodness. I'm just all ready to go.
Come back with this.
You know I will. Although I think you guys might want to have Michelle back the next time, because she will dish the dirt.
We would love it. We would love it. We are honored to have you with us today. Thank you. We look forward to, we hope that Senator Clinton will join us. Thank you so much.
Thank you.